Why is leadership the key to growth? Well, the best self-improvement seminar you can ever take is being a manager or an entrepreneur. Why? Because every weakness you have will be highlighted through the experiences of leadership. Stick with me, because I'm going to share with you my biggest mistake so that you don't get wrapped up in the same faulty patterns that I've done, and many others as well. First thing that you want to do is understand this idea of leadership that we have. Well, it's a broken kind of archetype that many of us associate with what a leader is. I love to think of being a leader just completely dumping that word and say being a coach versus leading. If I consider myself a coach instead of a leader, it changes my position with the people that I'm with. I am no longer trying to demonstrate through myself the most impeccable way to live or the best methods of doing things. I am now looking at my team and saying, you are the talent, and I'm going to win this game in business, whatever it is we're playing, through the talents that you have brought, by bringing it all together. This will inspire the people around you. This will allow them to feel like they are being elevated when they're in your presence. This will build emotional credit with your team. They're going to want to fight for you. I cannot think of a good coach that I have ever had that I didn't love. I can think of most of the leaders that I've had as kind of pompous jerks who were just trying to sap my skill set to build their business and their profits and their earning. It's a different approach. One intrinsically motivates me to work for a person. The other, well, I can see your vision, I can see what you're trying to do. I'm not necessarily buying into what you got because you're leading. There's a gap between you and me. You're not in this to help me. Coaches, it's all about helping the talent shine. That is true leadership, in my opinion. Helping the people around you shine. So the next thing, number 2, is that you will be constantly teaching the people that are around you. And this process, which is coaching, that's what I believe is true leadership, changes how you support others, how you learn, because the process of teaching the people around you, really those iterations give you the power to overcome your own limitations and your own lack of knowledge, because it's a different iteration of the process of learning. Learning and acting is one thing. Teaching reinforces that. When you are a coach/leader, you are now really deeply bringing this stuff into yourself. It's a powerful thing. It changes who you are, how you see the world, how things move, and you understand that people may see what you are trying to teach in a different way. And they may deliver it in a different way with the same result. It's powerful to see this. The third thing, it changes the nature of your work when you become a leader. As a coach, learning to duplicate yourself or duplicate people that can take over spaces that you used to do is really a very difficult process. How do you split that off? Allow these things that you have learned and built and skills that you've developed through the hard work that you have done to be handed off into the trusted hands of someone working for you. So learning to create duplicates of yourself is a really, really tricky thing, and also a very important thing to do. And it is hard for most leaders, and this is why the change to coaching is so important. When you place yourself in this idea of a leader, you have learned skills within your business or within the space that you're working that you really believe are good and strong and valuable, and you want these people to deliver in the same way that you would deliver. You want them to care as much as you care. Truth is, they won't unless you become a coach, unless you allow them to see that duplicating those efforts is in fact a way for them to win, a way for them to blossom and show off their own talents, and a way for them to find satisfaction in doing good work. When you can coach them into that versus telling them how to do what you used to do, it changes the way they approach, it changes the way that you understand how to break off pieces of yourself and allow someone to be the caretaker of that part of your business or that part of your life. It's powerful, and it again allows you to see the world in a different way, your business in a different way. It elevates your understanding. So before we get into the fourth thing, I want to talk to you a little bit about my biggest mistake. My biggest mistake, that's kind of a big thing to say. It's something that happens to me all the time. I make big mistakes all the time. But as a leader, I remember specifically when I was a kid, I got put into a position where I was in charge of a group of young men. They made me the leader. And I had to deliver assignments to these guys. I had to tell them, hey, this is what we're going to do. And I just thought it was all on me. I really did. I was like, well, I've been made the leader. I guess I have to decide. And these were my friends that I was in charge of. I started to feel awkward around them because I felt like I had to deliver something beyond what I currently was. I saw myself as the guy that now had to be the perfect example of everything that my friends wanted, or what we all thought should be. And that put a lot of pressure on me and turned me inward, evaluating myself, trying to figure out how I would get the most done and trying to drive these guys to the same level. And it was this top-down sort of push, as a kid, doing this and bossy and obnoxious. And my friends quit coming to this event that I was the leader over because they didn't want to hang with me because I was annoying. And it was embarrassing to realize that I had become the very type of leader that I personally hated myself. They felt the awkwardness, that when I became a leader, it was like, oh, James is a leader. In feeling that, I reacted. My own sense of unworthiness in that position made me kind of puff up and act differently than I would have. And it was not successful. I didn't build the guys around me. I began to try to squeeze all that I could out of them so that we could win or we could be successful in our tasks that we were doing. And it wasn't good. And then later, I never forgot that. When I first became a manager of a sales team, I was the VP of sales for this company, and I had a team of 12 salespeople. And I remember always thinking of this. You walk in, you're VP of sales. I know that title hits people in a weird way. I've already experienced this as a kid. And I broke it down, and I decided right then and there in my head, I'm going to be a coach because I loved my coaches. I loved my athletic coaches. I was not going to be their VP. And what it did is it changed my interactions. I became more personal with how I engaged with them one-on-one. I became interested in what their skills and talents were and how would I help them get even better at what they were good at. How would I help them close deals better? How would I help them with prospecting? How would I help them in overcoming objections? These are the things that I began to really coach them on. And my team, we had a team, and there were 4 other teams in the company. One, the sales, we every month we would look at the amount of sales that each team made, and we produced the most sales every month for a year. We never lost. And I don't believe that it had anything to do with the overall talent of the other teams versus mine. It had everything to do with the fact that the people I was working with felt like they were being supported and enhanced and following these steps. They were learning from me as a coach how to do the things that they were best capable of. I was learning from them as a coach how to iterate things that I thought were good, as well as picking up new skills from the people around me and recognizing, you're better at me than this. This is incredible. Giving those type of compliments and being free and open and recognizing this is your day to shine. I had my day when I was a sales rep grinding and closing all these deals. Today, it's you, and I'm going to do everything I can to see you succeed. That change in mindset made my team unbreakable. We were on fire, and I loved it. And that became something that I held on to because it was so different from my big mistake as a younger kid when I had come in as the strong-armed leader trying to drive things down for the people I was around and watching my own friends reject me because of my attitude, my concept of what leadership is. So leadership, it is something real. It's a word we use. But the archetypal concept connected with that word, I believe, is broken in many ways. Change the idea. You will be a leader. Everyone has the opportunity in some way. But don't be the leader that bosses around. Be the coach. Lift those people. Make them excited, and your growth will never stop because you are now not only sharing what you've learned, you're learning from the people that are around you. This is why leadership is the key to growth. So, I would love to know for you what you have done to play with your mindset as a leader. How have you impacted the people around you and been successful? And how have you failed? Interesting things to learn there. And stick around. I got another video coming up. How we can face the future without fear. It's coming up right here. You may want to do that if you've been called as a leader and you got some trepidation about how you're going to handle that. Thanks for hanging out with me.